Rene Gonzalez said there could have been more victims with how much ammunition the gunman Anthony McRae had. Funerals for Fraser and Werner will take place tomorrow. A funeral for the third victim, Ariel Anderson of Harper Woods, will be held on Saturday. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel wants to clear the air when it comes to methane emissions. Nessel is joining a multi-state coalition in support of an EPA proposal to regulate those emissions from the oil and natural gas sector. The EPA estimates the plan will reduce emissions of methane by 36 million tons. Nessel says the oil and natural gas sector is the nation's largest industrial emitter of methane and says reducing greenhouse gas emissions, especially from methane, is essential if we're going to address climate change and protect the health of communities. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory is currently in effect for our area. Snow and sleet chances overnight tonight, low around 18. Snow continues into Friday, high near 26. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 18. Saturday, partly sunny, high near 38. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low around 30. Sunday, partly sunny, high near 42. Sunday night, cloudy, low around 34. Monday, high near 37. I'm meteorologist Michael Cotter with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now, it's 23 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning, good morning. I am Larry Rodarte, and I'm here in the Alpha Media Studios this morning filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. And we came in here with a lot of ice and a lot of snow, and we are Michiganders, and we're going to get through this day this morning. Even though the power was out last night here in the studios and we don't have the live stream up and running, but we're here and it's a great morning to be alive. And I was just taking in a lot of that cool air on the outside, even though the temperature is not even that warm here in the studio. But because of all the frantic getting ready for this show, I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating right here. And it felt good to be outside in the cold Michigan air. So today we've got quite a show, and I've got my guest today. He's sitting next to me here, and he made it in. I wasn't sure if he was going to either, but his name is Jose Perez IV. And some of you might remember his father, Jose Perez III, who was in the police force here in Saginaw. And now we have his son here, who is a New Val Catholic graduate from 2007. And he's back here because he is going to be he is the author and director of Saginaw Valley State University's next theater performance, which is happening already since Wednesday. It's called Very, Very Dead, and he is no stranger to the Great Lakes Bay region. The multifaceted talent grew up here in Saginaw, graduating, like I said, from New Val Catholic Central before completing a bachelor's and master's degree in drama. So Saginaw Valley is proud to host the premiere of this show, which runs Wednesday, February 15th. It's started, and it runs all the way till Sunday. The last show will be February 19th at 3 p.m. So please help me welcome Jose Perez IV.
Thank you so much, Larry. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for coming in on this winter day here in Saginaw, Michigan. And I know all my audience out there can relate because I had to get up and start the vehicle like a half hour early just to get on that snow. And there was a lot of ice under that. Did you guys notice the ice that was under there? But tell me, Jose, a little bit about who exactly is Jose Perez IV.
Well, Saginaw native, first and foremost. It's been really meaningful to come back home and to be doing theater since I left home for college, for New York, doing my master's, jumping around the country doing theater. I've always wanted to come back to do the thing I fell in love with here that I've trained at, that I've worked at, to bring it back to my hometown. I work professionally in theater, mostly in Pittsburgh nowadays.
Mhm.
I write my own work, direct my own work, been doing that for over a decade now. And I also work professionally as a fight director, teaching actors how to fight safely on stage with other actors, make it look good.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. And you came out of New Val
Mhm.
Catholic Central, so you're part of the parochial curriculum here in Saginaw. And as a student at New Val, when did you realize that you actually wanted to be a playwright?
So I was always academically oriented, and I found a lot of success in that. I skipped a grade and went to Nouvelle early, so my sights were always on my academics. The only reason I did theater was to survive socially. The only people I knew were in the theater department when I got there. I was a pretty shy kid, but I just kept doing theater, and as that shyness started to melt away, for the first time in my life, I found passion,
Mhm.
and that was a significant feeling to me. And then I saw an original show here in Old Town Saginaw at the 303.
Oh, I
Uh,
remember that.
uh-huh. It
Yeah.
was the only sort of like alternative original art space here in town, and I went to see a show there, written directed by Mark Bodine, and it blew me away. At that time, I only knew very traditional theater, musicals like Oklahoma, and to see something original that was made at a grassroots level by someone who just wanted to make theater, put it up with the other people that they knew. That changed my life, and that set me on the path that I'm on now.
Wow, wow. So you got a young man here. He found his passion, and for some reason, I'm thinking of Irene Cara in that song. The late Irene Cara. She just passed in November. Was a Latina that really made a name for herself, and of course, she sang "Take Your Passion and Make It Happen," and that's what you did. You did
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah,
that's kudos to you for doing
thank you.
that, and it's really something. I want you to explain to my audience
Mhm.
what exactly is Very Very Dead. Tell me about the title first of all. How'd you come up with that? And then tell us a little bit about what the play is about.
All right. So Very Berry Dead, it got its title. It's all about the Berry family, this family in Vermont. The Very comes from the fact that many of the extended family have just suddenly passed away in the play. That's how we started. There's been some mysterious accident that a large number of them have passed away. So the remaining extended family, they're coming back to the Berry farm. Their tradition is they always bury the recently deceased on the cemetery that's there on that family farm. So they're getting ready for the preparations. They've never had to bury this many people at once. Someone from the county comes out to approve the private land burial. And that's where things start to get tricky. It's not going to go as smooth as they thought, and they need to come to some decisions as a family. And this group, they're not as cohesive as the ones who had passed away. So
Mm.
they have to come to some decisions that aren't going to be come to easily. And of course, like it happens with family, you get together for a wedding, you get together for a funeral, people who haven't seen each other in a while, those old feuds are going to come up.
Yes.
Hmm.
All havoc can break loose.
It sure can, and it does a bit in this play.
Yeah, yeah, I was reading about that, and one of the things that I read was that you said the greatest challenge of this script was balancing the comedy and grief needed to do each justice.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about that because that's pretty profound.
So in a lot of what I write, comedy is really important to me. I just have a fun time writing comedy, but as an audience member, I also find that comedy brings me close to the story. It helps me trust the story. I know I'm going to have a good time. I know you're going to sort of take care of me as an audience member. But then at the core, I still want to write about something meaningful, and things that are meaningful to me, family or mourning our losses. So since both of those things are very present in the play, uh, it does take a really strong acting ensemble and production team to be able to do justice to both of those. Your high comedy moments, you want to be running around stage, things are falling, everyone's falling all over themselves. Lots of puns in this play. I have to apologize, but I'm also not sorry about the amount of puns in this play. but then also the reality of what is it like to lose someone? What is it like to lose someone you lost contact with and you're starting to regret that time away from each other? And wanting to give both of those things the space and time that they observe. And it's interesting to me to see when they overlap, if you can even pull that off as a playwright, as an actor. So it's a challenge that I've set for the team and the actors, and they really met it.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. And I know that, as you get older, like myself, I'm getting older now, you frequent more funerals and
Yeah.
more of the grieving process, and you lose your tias and your tios. And I mean, so it's really something for me to see that you took this on, that you took when you're meshing grieving and comedy. And I mean, that really has to be something. I'm really interested to see that. And I think we're going to come out of this segment here. We're going to go into break, and we'll be right back with Jose Perez IV.
I'm starting to worry about all of this crime lately.
I was worried too, so I made sure I was prepared.
How'd you do that?
I took my CPL class at Applied Training Solutions. They covered everything I needed to know to get my concealed pistol license. You can never be too safe.
Applied Training Solution is Michigan's premier training facility. We offer both live fire training and digital simulation training. Whether you're looking for your initial training or advanced training, see us at simurange.com or ATS Midland on Facebook.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Oh no, he's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We could see more selling on Wall Street this morning after stocks had their worst day in a month. There are some outliers, though. Investors who went long on DraftKings are having a winning morning.
Sports betting company beat fourth quarter revenue and earnings expectations. DraftKings raised its 2023 revenue outlook as well. That stock is up 60% year to date.
Fox's Maria Bartiromo. And Facebook parent Meta gave thousands of employees subpar ratings in a recently concluded round of performance reviews. The Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the matter, says it's a signal more job cuts may be on the way. The company also cut a bonus metric, one of several steps that senior executives are taking after Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg declared 2023 would be a year of efficiency. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. They do not care if the value of your retirement is sacrificed. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Since the pandemic, I'm so anxious all the time.
I can't sleep.
I need someone to talk to who's not going to judge me.
For emotional support any time of the day or night, talk to a Stay Well counselor. Dial 1-888-535-6136 and press 8. It's free and confidential, and one of the many ways to stay mentally healthy. Learn more at michigan.gov/staywell. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Now for Savard and McNamara. Another long shot, deflection, save and rebound. They score! Bodie Stewart, first OHL goal.
The Saginaw Spirit continued their 4-game road trip with a stop at the Guelph Storm this Friday night. Join Dylan Clark and Dennis Drozier for all the action beginning at 7:15 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. The Spirit are back home on February 24th and 25th. Visit SaginawSpirit.com for ticket info.
It's Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Larry Rodarte. I am here in the Alpha Media studios this morning, and I'm filling in for our good friend, Art Lewis, on the Art Lewis Show. Thank you, everybody who is listening this morning, this cold Michigan weathered morning. And I'm talking here with a young man, Jose Perez IV. And he is the author and director of the play that is playing at Saginaw Valley State University this week called Very, Very Dead. And it's really a topic, I don't know, it just seems really relevant right now because what his play hits on a lot of is grief from losing someone that you love, and mixing in comedy with that to kind of get through the process. And so we're talking with this young man. Tell us a little bit, Jose, like what has been your greatest challenge with this play as you come back home to Saginaw?
Well, it's a new play. It's had some staged readings before, which are very brief passes at the script, which helped me in editing it to get to the version we have here. But this is its first run at full production, working on it close to 2 months. Actors set, the whole shebang, and then having it up on its feet in front of audience. You don't really know how the thing is going to work until it's up on its feet in front of other people. So it's a challenge as a playwright doing a world premiere. I think even just the nerves of it, this thing is in my head. Of course it works in my head. Does it work for other people? That's a nerve-wracking, but also a really exciting and rich process. That's how live theater works. It's not meant to just stay in your head. It's meant to sort of be an exchange between you and the other artists working on it, you and the people who come to experience it, which is something I've just become addicted to because then it continues to develop. I continue to edit it, continue to share it with different audiences in different places in the country. And it's really interesting sort of audience to audience, region to region, what people are going to focus on and what they're going to respond to. No two audiences are the same, and it's something I can't control, but that's something I enjoy about the process.
Yeah. I read somewhere where you said, with this play, I'm trying to encourage the idea that there can be joy within the grieving process. And that's something I think that some might find difficult when you're talking about grieving. But you said that even with bridges are burned, when they're burned between people, if you're willing to both work at it, things can be repaired. And that is a tragic loss. You can both mourn what happened and find a way to be at peace with it. That's pretty profound and deep. Tell me a little bit about that, because as you said, you come from a large family, I come from a large family, and we're seeing, as we get older, more and more where we have to deal with grief in the passing of loved ones. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, especially reflecting on the Hispanic community here, growing up, really large extended family, and especially here in Saginaw, there seems to be a lot of overlap. If you talk long enough, you'll find connections, maybe not even related, but back to your history, even all the way back to Mexico, especially since so many people came from Texas up here to Michigan. So because of that extended family, even as a young person, ended up going to a lot of weddings, but especially also a lot of funerals. that was something that was really impactful to me approaching this script. Even though it was difficult learning about these things as a young person, I started getting used to what grief looked like, what mourning looked like. Um, and that actually gave me sort of a gift as a young adult, that I started having more time and space to think about grief instead of it just, hitting me full force as an adult, never having dealt with it. To be able to sort of observe it in a safe way, guided by my parents, then I was able to see sort of the nuances that can exist around grief. Seeing people after the funeral actually able to chat, able to remember. It always struck me when there was laughter at or after a funeral. Instead of that being shocking, I started seeing it as something that was healing, and it became this very full human experience. And that's something I've been interested in as an artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to talk a little bit about how has this experience been for you at Saginaw Valley State University with the actors that are there? Because here we are in the Great Lakes Bay region, and these are actors that you've never worked with before, right?
Correct.
And so tell me about that experience coming from Pittsburgh and being this author, this playwright, and you're dealing with Saginaw Valley State University and their actors. Tell me about that.
First and foremost, they've been incredible, really incredible. I feel like I've stumbled upon a really unique and dynamic community of artists here, like a bit of a hidden gem. Coming up, I knew that it was a smaller program, and sometimes when you're working with smaller theater departments, the risk sometimes is only a small amount of people come out to the play, so you're only able to cast your actors from a smaller option group. So that's a worry for me when I go to a new program. I don't know the people, I don't know their past shows, but so much talent came into the room. Casting the show after auditions was a really difficult process because so many of them could do so many of the roles really well. And working at SVSU, the phrase I've heard right from the beginning was small but mighty. And that is so true. Like a lot of theater programs in the nation, post COVID, they're dealing with less numbers in their theater programs. So everyone's struggling in that way. But the dedication of these young artists and their thirst to learn more has really struck me, and it's made it a really easy process, a surprisingly easy process, because everyone has been so game and they all work so hard. Everyone wears 7 hats at this university. They're not just acting, they're working backstage, they're designing as well as having a full course load, and most of them are working jobs as well to get through. I'm so impressed by them.
Wow, wow, and it's a big ensemble, right? The whole the cast. I read where there's a lot going on the
Yes.
stage, and you said to the audience that does attend to look at what's going on each of the characters, because there's little messages being sent. Tell me a little bit about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so it is a big ensemble. We have 9 primary actors, and we also have understudies covering those actors, and everyone's doing work backstage as well. Lots of double and triple duty. But in terms of what you'll see on stage, there's a lot of characters, a lot of different characters, a lot of physical activity happening all across the stage. It's a really big kitchen you'll see, and you'll see a living room as well. And again, if you pay attention, this is a family. This is all very distinct characters from one another. They operate in distinctly different ways. They have distinctly different opinions. And something I like to do is I'll pick an actor to follow for a while, and you'll see all these tiny little moments you would have missed if you're just taking it all in at once. I would encourage you to do that. The actors have really developed their characters. They make me laugh every single time. All these tiny little things they develop that I never could have made up, that they've made their own.
Were you pleasantly surprised when you arrived? Because you have preconception of Saginaw Valley? What will they offer the town? And then here you've got this great cast, right? Was it pretty rewarding for you to see that?
It was. Again, I didn't know what to expect. I've worked at
Mhm.
different university programs, and they're their own mini cultures. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's bad, especially what the expectation is on work ethic, I would say. But the second I came in here, I knew I was dealing with a really rich environment. Everyone wants to work so hard. Actors are coming to me all the time saying, "Hey, what else can I do? Hey, I've been working on this. Is it working?" They want to do their homework. They want to get as much out of the material and the experience as possible,
Mhm.
and that's something I really admire in young artists. Even if you don't continue to pursue theater, with that sort of work ethic, you can do anything.
Well, that's awesome to say that. That's coming from our Saginaw Valley State University.
Mhm.
That's here, hometown. And we're going to come back from commercial talking with Jose Perez IV about the Very, Very Dead.
Hi, Art Lewis here. After many years in several vehicles, I finally get to talk about my car dealer, McDonald Ford. Yes, as the name implies, they are a Ford dealer located on M47 in Freeland. But they are so much more than just a Ford dealer. For example, right now I'm driving a Chevy Silverado from McDonald's extensive fleet of pre-owned vehicles. You'll find Chevys, Cadillacs, Jeeps, Lincolns, even a Mercedes-Benz. All have been through McDonald Ford's extensive 100-point inspection. Also know that when you need service, be it minor or major, the McDonald Service Department is second to none. Couple that with their drive collision and quick lane center, and you now know why McDonald Ford is my dealer of choice. New or pre-owned, the McDonald staff treats you like family because family is everything to the McDonald family. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that poor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Hey, we're back here in the Alpha Media Studios, WSGW. I am your host this morning, Larry Rodarte. I am filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. And it's always a pleasure to be here filling in for Art. And I have my guest this morning. His name is Jose Perez IV. And I love hearing about the success of one of our young people who comes back to Saginaw, and he gives all he can in regards to what his passion is in talent. And in this young man, he is a playwright. He is author and director of the play that's playing at Saginaw Valley State University this weekend. It's called Very, Very Dead. And we welcome again Jose Perez IV.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So Jose Perez, and I mentioned it earlier on the show that he's the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So your father was Jose Perez III,
Mm-hmm.
and many of us know him as the lieutenant with the police force here in Saginaw. Not many years ago. I think he retired maybe 10 years, maybe
I think
less.
a little more than that, actually.
Oh, more? Wow.
Yeah.
But I know Jose, and I know his family. I know all his sisters, your tias,
Mm-hmm.
Marianne and Josie,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and Lily and Jennifer. I know all the girls, and they lived over on Montana Street in Bridgeport. They went to Bridgeport High, and I got to see them at our class reunion.
Yeah, that was
this
recently,
last
wasn't
summer.
it?
Yeah, our 40th, believe it or not. But it was really awesome to see them. And as I was telling Jose, I actually knew I knew his grandmother. I knew his great grandmother, who happened to be my father's godmother.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some really way back family ties
Yeah.
from Uvalde, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
in San Antonio. And it's amazing for me to see you young like this succeeding, because you look exactly like your father.
I do. I'd look at pictures of him at my age now with the facial hair and the short hair. It's uncanny.
Yeah, it really is. And anybody who sees you that knew your dad when he was young, which I did, you will see the resemblance, because Jose was on the cover of Mi Gente magazine, I think in 2007. We threw him as a graduate from Nouvelle Catholic Central, and he was on the cover of Mi Gente. And I don't think you had come into your own as far as looking like your father at that time. You did, but not like you do today. So when I saw the pictures, the promo pictures for Very, Very Dead, I was like, whoa,
There he is.
Joe Perez III, reincarnated back. I was like, what is his secret? No, but that's so awesome. That's so awesome to see that. And I know that, we are the children of immigrants. They came from Mexico, our families, and then into the Texas region, Uvalde, like we said, and then to Michigan. And lo and behold, we ended up in the beautiful little city here of Bridgeport, Michigan. And then you went to Nouvelle, of course. So a lot of family ties, and so big families. And like we talked earlier about the grieving process and losing many, but there's a lot of joy in big families.
Yes,
a lot of joy. And I know that as a recipient of having so many tias, which are aunts and uncle. Well, in your case, it was all aunts.
Yes.
Your father was the only son of Paula, right, and Jose Perez. And so what's that like for you today as a young man, a young Latino in the community, now living in Pittsburgh? What's that like for you to recognize and see your heritage?
It's really meaningful to me. It's always been something was really interested in hearing, especially from my grandfather, sharing with me his stories as a young man of a very different time, hearing from my mother's side as well, especially hearing about stories as migrant workers, just to be able to reflect. And I sort of see it in my mind of them as people my age moving around the country, having to do what they needed to do to survive and to work that hard. And I think any young Hispanic person, it's really present in you.
Yes.
All of the hard work your ancestors went through for you to be where you're at, no matter what your state in life is. So much came before you. So many people thought about you generations ahead of we're working in this way so that our future children and children's children can have a better life than we did. And that feels very present for me. The fact that I get to be an artist only a few generations removed from not even many generations removed from migrant work. My mother would always share with me, is really an honor for me that they would work so hard and sacrifice that I could be able to explore the world and my own humanity in this sort of way.
You were their American dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Yeah. So we're going to come back out of break here. That things are moving really fast, but we're talking with Jose Perez the fourth, and he's got a play playing at Saginaw Valley called Very, Very Dead. We'll be right back.
How is your child doing in school this year? Do you feel they are not performing as well as they could? Did you know that this could be due to visual performance? At Associates in Eye Care, they help you determine if your child's vision is not performing as well as it could. They don't just give your child glasses. They evaluate the entire visual and ocular system to detect, treat, and prevent visual disorders and ocular diseases. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox, Dr. Kazmarek, or Dr. Angle, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
You never know when a power outage will strike. That means you need a power source you can depend on to keep the lights and other electrical appliances working. That's why you need a Honda generator. Whether you're camping or at home, you'll never be left in the dark with these efficient, reliable sources of power. Rugged Honda engines assure you hours of uninterrupted power. Put an economical, portable Honda generator to work for you, whether it's for recreational use or as a source of emergency standby power. Take charge of any situation and let a powerful friend shed some light on things. Pour on the juice with a quiet, reliable Honda generator and get the power you need when you need it. Honda generators available now at Wolfiles, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
A 401k can be an important asset for many Americans' retirements. You've made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years. Tune in Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSGW for your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment in Midland. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today at 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Good morning. Good morning. I am your host this morning, filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. My name is Larry Rodarte, and I am the host of Mi Gente on Air on Sunday evenings and on the live stream on Tuesday. And it's always a pleasure for me to be here in the studio filling in for Art, especially on this cold, wintry day when the power went out last night and there were consumer trucks in the driveway, and I didn't know if I could get into the regular driveway. So, I mean, it's been chaotic, and I just want to give real quick, Jonathan Dent, my producer here, tell me a little bit what you had to go through this morning for us in order to be on the air.
Well, here at the studio, I only got in just shortly before the show began because the drive down from Standish was not pleasant in the slightest. But we had the power out earlier this morning or late last night. All of our stations here at Alpha Media were off the air for about 4 hours from what I can tell. Phones are still out. They're working on the power lines right in front of the building, and a lot of our automation went offline for some time. We're still having a few things that, like, we're not getting our weather forecasts in a timely manner. So we'll be handling those throughout the day here. But this is the world of radio.
Yep.
You do what you can.
So bear with us, everybody. And I'm so glad that we aren't able to take phone calls today.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're talking with Jose Perez IV, and he is a playwright who is bringing Very, Very Dead to Saginaw Valley State University this weekend. It started on Wednesday. I have to mention the show was canceled today, Friday, because of the weather. The university is shut down. But tomorrow, Saturday, the show will be on at 7:30 p.m. and then Sunday at 3:30. So I want to throw the question to Jose. What would you say to any young people who were looking to be playwrights or looking to be authors of a play?
Mm-hmm. First, I'll mention Sunday. It's 3 p.m. is when we're running the show.
Oh, 3 p.m.
Yeah,
okay.
No problem. For young people looking to be authors to make their own theater, my advice is always to do it. Make your own opportunities. The best education you can get, especially in the creative arts, is to create. That's the only way you're gonna really know if your stuff is working. What needs to change is to really get it out there in the world. I have a little bit of an obsession with finishing my projects. At one point, it hit me. All I did at parties was talk about the scripts I was going to write, and I was never writing them. And so I had to learn along the way some tricks to make it happen. One big thing in grad school, somebody told me, is done is better than perfect. And boy, is that true. You have to have the thing in your hand to know how to make it better. And so with a lot of playwrights, especially, I hear a lot of fear around making the work and getting out there. And I understand it. It's a very vulnerable thing to put your own voice out into the world, because then people get to criticize it. But it's just something you get used to as time goes on, and you actually start to sort of enjoy the process of maybe not criticism, but people encountering something you made and them having an opinion about it. It starts to become a fun thing, and you also learn to take everything with a grain of salt. I'd also say that, it's different times compared to when I was 16 years old. There is education out there. You might not get it, say at the university of the town that you're in. Go on Coursera.com. There's great content on there for free. I took some of those master classes online. I found a friend who was willing to give me free access to their account. And even just playwrights you might know around at a grassroots level, get in touch with them. Other artists want to help you. They want to see other artists succeed, especially young artists, to grow. People help me in that way. Reach out to us, reach out to me. I'm happy to give you at least tips.
Yes, yes, and that's awesome because this is a young man who was born and raised in Saginaw, graduated from New Val Catholic Central High School, went on to find his passion, and he's doing it. He's making it happen. And again, I bring that up about that movie Fame. I don't. You're probably too young, but you've
Hmm.
probably seen Fame.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
musical.
yeah.
No, they're gonna make
The
it.
musical too, but the movie with Irene Cara back in the early '80s, and it really projected what it was like to be in theater, I guess is what I want to say. And I know that there was a lot of young people at that time. They wanted to go to the school in New York for
Mhm.
to be a star, if you will.
Mhm.
And that's what that I think. I don't know if there's been a movie that has pushed that agenda like that movie did in the early 80s. And so
Mhm.
it's just a great career. It's got to be fun for you doing all this, and to have that space, to be
Mhm.
have that voice, to take what you have in your head and see it come to fruition
Yeah.
here at Saginaw Valley. So thank you so much for being our guest today. We're gonna go into commercial again, and we'll be right back with Jose Perez, and he's my guest today here on the Art Lewis Show.
Don't wait until spring to make your money grow. Right now, you can spring into an 18-month certificate account that will make you 5% APY. Yes, 5% APY. Let your money grow at 5% for 18 months with Capocco Community Credit Union. Start investing it today, and Capocco will help your money grow faster with the best financial support. Short-term certificate accounts available for a limited time. Visit capocco.org for more information or talk to a member service representative today. APY is annual percentage yield. Some restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from Sungyi Fitness in Saginaw. You're going to get half off of a one-year adult VIP membership. That's with famous fitness classes and programs packed with club amenities. Enjoy the energetic atmosphere at Sungyi Saginaw and check your fitness goals off one by one. This deal is for new members only. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit StarRegistry.com for the hottest gift.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Got a story that a piece of Star Wars memorabilia has made its way into the record books. In fact, Guinness has certified this as the most expensive movie prop gun ever sold at an auction.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very nice. It's Han Solo's blaster.
How much?
$1,057,500. It's because it's the only surviving prop gun of the three original that were made for the original movie, A New Hope.
I never saw the movie, sorry.
You better get up to speed, because if we're ever to do the morning team version of Star Wars, you've got to play the role of Princess Leia.
Good luck with that.
I, of course, the casting would be Luke Skywalker.
Of course.
And Pat, because of
Absolutely.
the facial hair, has got to be Chewbacca.
Art can be Han Solo.
No, R2-D2.
R2-D2?
Yes.
Okay.
Charlie, Denise, and Pat, your morning team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Good morning. We're back. I'm Larry Rodarte, filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. And I just want to, I'm reading the press release here for this play, Very, Very Dead. We have the author and the director and the playwright, Jose Perez IV, who's with us. And Saginaw Valley State University is proud to host the premiere of the show, which runs from Wednesday, which had already started, to Friday. It's canceled today because of the weather, but it is playing Saturday and Sunday. So go on out and see Very, Very Dead, produced and directed by a local here. So let's hear Jose as he goes out with 1 minute left in the show.
I just want to make sure to say thank you, Saginaw. I love my hometown. I've loved being back. This has been a really meaningful trip for me. Just so I can see a lot of family too. This is the longest I've been back since I left for college, and I've loved this opportunity. Hope to be back. Hope to do more theater here in the community. I will say, get your tickets, svsu.edu/theater, or Google Very Buried Dead SVSU. Hope to see you at the show, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in. I know it was a little difficult with the weather and all, and I didn't even know if I was going to make it into the studio, but we're here. We made it happen, and I think it was a really good show. And there's a collaboration here between my producer and Jose, because I didn't know Jonathan is a producer here. So we're out. Adios until the next segment.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 5 Memphis police officers fired after Tyree Nichols' brutal beating and death are due in court this hour to face second-degree murder charges. Attorney William Massey represents one of the defendants, Emmett Martin.
The public has just not been given all the information, and I think the public was left with the opinion that there was no probable cause to stop Tyree Nichols.
Nichols was black, so are all 5 officers. A white police officer in Louisiana has been arrested for shooting an unarmed black man to death as he tried to run away when police responded to his family's apartment in Shreveport.
Speed of our delivery to strengthen our sling speed of decisions to limit Russian potential.
Vice President Harris among the attendees. The Wall Street Journal says top oversight officials want to send auditors and investigators to Ukraine's war zone to track U.S. assistance. President Biden's admitted those mystery objects shot down over the U.S. and Canada last weekend were harmless. Correspondent Cammie McCormick says hope of finding the debris is fading.
The objects came down in remote areas or in extreme conditions. Canadian authorities have now ended their search for the object that came down in Lake Huron, citing deteriorating weather and the low probability of recovery. Search efforts are continuing in Yukon, but that's being hampered by mountains and snow. The U.S. has so far reported no debris recovered from the other object shot down over northern Alaska.
Spain's High Court has just agreed to extradite a British citizen wanted by the U.S. in a Twitter hack 2 years ago. It compromised the accounts of several American politicians, including President Biden's and former President Obama's. The same day, EPA Administrator Michael Regan visited the site of the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The rail operator got more bad news. CBS's Roxana Subiri.
Norfolk Southern's problems are growing. Just yesterday, another one of the company's trains derailed outside of Detroit. Authorities say one of the train cars was carrying a hazardous material, liquid chlorine, but that car was not overturned and there were no leaks or spills.
An all-star catcher and Baseball Hall of Fame broadcasters died.
I'm going to take you back to a night, the first game of the World Series, 1988.
Tim McCarver won 2 World Series titles with the Cardinals in the 1960s. He was one of the few players to play in the majors in 4 different decades before he retired in 1980 and became a TV analyst for a record 24 World Series. Tim McCarver was 81. The Hall of Fame says he died of heart failure. Dow futures are down 118. This is CBS News.
Throughout the growing season, you're tasked with making tough choices, starting with the seed, reading all that trial data. You even have your neighbors weigh in. And when you do plant that smart decision, how you'll protect it, well, that's an easy choice. The soybean herbicide portfolio from Corteva Agriscience. With products like Sonic Herbicide, you'll be complementing your Enlist system with the soybean residual protection that'll tackle the toughest weed challenges all season long. See how a program approach can help you protect every acre at Corteva.us.
I thought learning a language would be too much work. Then I discovered Babbel. They make learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes. Quick and easy. And soon, you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
My friend from Italy said my accent and pronunciation is perfect. It's because Babbel's lessons are designed by language teachers and voiced by real native speakers. Each lesson is like living in another country for 15 minutes.
I love that there's all kinds of ways to learn. Babbel's podcast or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
You learn words and phrases you actually use in real conversations.
In 3 weeks, I was starting to speak in another language. So easy.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than Babbel.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Kyle Green of the Greenway Outdoors TV show. Then Ed Roy from the Michigan Wildlife Council. In our second hour, we're talking coyote hunting with Randy Booty. Then Tyler Zarnopoulos of the DNR on how they use social media to reach their people. And in our third hour, Chris Durson of Rapid River Knives. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 17 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Mount Morris man has been arrested in connection with a fire at a Bridgeport Township hotel and may possibly be responsible for others as well. A string of arsons have taken place over the past couple months at 2 hotels. The first was January 7th when the former Welcome Inn and Suites on Holland Avenue in Buena Vista Township burned to the ground. The next day, one room of the former Days Inn in the 6300 block of Dixie Highway in Bridgeport Township was set on fire, according to officials. On February 7th, fires were set in several unconnected rooms at the Days Inn. Police arrested 18-year-old Andrew Shank, who's been charged with arson in the February 7th fire. However, investigators say he may be responsible for the other fires, plus fires in Mount Morris Township and Flint. He's been released on bond but must wear a tether. Starting on Monday, STAR's bus route hours will be extended to Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. STAR's executive director, Glenn Steffens, says that now that the Saginaw staff and vehicle levels have increased and stabilized, weekday hours will be extended back to pre-pandemic levels. He says they aren't quite able to return to Saturday service at this time, but are working towards it. State police have collected more than 5,000 marijuana plants from an illegal grow operation in northern Michigan. Detectives with the Marijuana and Tobacco Investigation Sections worked with the Ogama County Prosecutor's Office to execute search warrants near West Branch. Along with hundreds of plants, troopers also took more than 100 pounds of processed marijuana from the site. Authorities say suspects were growing and processing the drug in direct violation of several marijuana laws. Charges are pending at this time. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
You never know when a power outage will strike. That means you need a power source you can depend on to keep the lights and other electrical appliances working. That's why you need a Honda generator. Whether you're camping or at home, you'll never be left in the dark with these efficient, reliable sources of power. Rugged Honda engines assure you hours of uninterrupted power. Put an economical, portable Honda generator to work for you, whether it's for recreational use or as a source of emergency standby power. Take charge of any situation and let a powerful friend shed some light on things. Pour on the juice with a quiet, reliable Honda generator and get the power you need when you need it. Honda generators available now at Wolfiles, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A former guard for Michigan State University and current NBA free agent Brian Forbes has been arrested in Texas on a domestic assault charge. The 29-year-old was reportedly arrested in San Antonio. Forbes allegedly got upset with a woman in public, and an altercation ensued when they got home. Police say the woman was hit several times and needed medical care. Forbes played 2 seasons at MSU, then played with the San Antonio Spurs, Milwaukee Bucks, Denver, and Minnesota before being waived earlier this month. Workers who are trying to organize a Tesla facility near Buffalo, New York, say they've been fired. Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert has the details in this report.
The workers complained they were fired for their organizing activity, which is illegal. Tesla's not commenting. The numbers said to be in the dozens. This came just days after the Service Employees Union announced it was trying to organize the 800 workers at the facility, which works on Tesla's autopilot system. The government ruled that Tesla illegally fired workers for organizing in California. That's a charge Tesla denies and is appealing. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
Police are investigating in Metro Detroit's Van Buren Township after a woman found a camera in the ceiling of an Anytime Fitness bathroom. She reportedly got the phone, pointed it at the gym bathroom, and took it to gym management. She called the police because she was suspicious an employee might have been involved. The suspected employee left the building through a back door. Crews performing demolition work within the right-of-way on East Genesee Avenue in Saginaw will cause lane closures through the weekend. According to the city, eastbound lanes will be closed and only one westbound lane will remain open between Warren and Jadens Avenues starting this morning and continuing through 5 p.m. Monday. Drivers are urged to seek an alternate route or use a detour. The city is asking that drivers remain patient while the work is being done. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. A winter weather advisory is currently in effect for our area. Snow and sleet chances overnight tonight, low around 18. Snow continues into Friday, high near 26. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 18. Saturday, partly sunny, high near 38. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low around 30. Sunday, partly sunny, high near 42. Sunday night, cloudy, low around 34. Monday, high near 37. I'm meteorologist Michael Cotter with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now, it's 23 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning. Good morning. I am your host this morning, filling in for Art Lewis. My name is Larry Rodarte, and I'm going to talk with a guest from Delta College. But I want to introduce as well my co-host here today on this hour, Rosa Morales. She's many longtime journalist that many people know and was affiliated with Delta College for many, many years as well. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Show.
Good morning, everyone.
I know we all had a difficult time coming in with the snow and that ice, but we're here and we're making the best of it.
And we've got a great show.
Yeah.
Thus far.
And my guest this hour is actually Dr. David Baskin. He's the professor of psychology at Delta College. And we're going to talk about the President's Speaker Series at Delta College, which is funded by the President's Office and the Peter and Barbara Boyce Endowment Fund through the Delta College Foundation. And the college brings national and international renowned speakers. And this week coming up, February 22nd, there is a man by the name of John Quiones. And I know many of you know him from ABC News. He's a veteran of ABC News and the creator and host of What Would You Do? I know many of the listeners out there are familiar with John's show. He will be speaking in the Delta College Gym on Wednesday, February 22nd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. as part of the President's Speakers Series. So welcome, Dr. Baskins. David Baskins, everybody.
Good morning, Larry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and thanks for coming in. And tell me a little bit about your expectations for the Speaker Series with John Quiones.
Yes, so we've been doing the President Speaker Series since the year 1999, and typically we hold these events in our lecture theater, which holds about 225 people. And typically we host the events on a Wednesday morning. But with the interest in John Quinones, we're hoping for a really big turnout. And so we moved the event to the gym. Given that the event is in the evening, we're hoping that people can maybe come after their day at school or at work. And we hope to have a great turnout there for John. We know there's a lot of interest.
Yeah. We are excited that he's coming to Saginaw. It's always a wonderful thing when you have renowned, especially journalists. Rosa, wouldn't you say John Quinones? He's somebody that we've always kind of looked up to and what his career was from where he came to.
Yes, he was. He tells his own story, and he's written books about his life, also books with children in mind. So he's a noted author, lecturer, journalist, award winning. He also is well known for his humble beginnings, that he is so proud to recall his early life coming to Michigan as a child with his migrant worker families, going up to Traverse City, probably doing the big, crops, the cherries, the pickles, maybe the sugar beets if they stayed late into the season. But John recalls that life and the struggle that his family had. And now he is a world renowned journalist. He's very well known, obviously, for that show, What Would You Do?
Right.
And what we need to jump and really capture the whole essence of the morality of what occurs on the screen in the different scenarios that are set up for the unwitting persons who are either caught doing a good thing or a wrong thing. And John catches both in the act and comes out and does the big reveal. And within that, humanity, there's a message, and everybody walks away with their own, I guess, understanding of what they have just witnessed. But that's just one little slice of John. He has covered the border, going undercover with migrants. This was back before, the current rush was happening at the southern border. So I am looking forward to having him talk to us about not only that kind of news, but the state of news in the United States when democracy is at risk. That's what I want to hear him talk about.
Yeah. Dr. Baskin, do you mind me calling you doctor, or do you want me to say David?
Dave
how
is
does
fine.
it feel? Okay, Dave. Well, listen, how do you go about in choosing the speakers for the Speaker Bureau? You're in psychology, right? So what is your affiliation with all of this?
Right, that's a good question. We have a great team that I work with, including Barb Hanley Miller, who is our past president, Kim Klein, who is my co-chair, and Nancy Vader McCormick, who helped to start the series. And from the beginning, as you mentioned, the goal has been to bring in great nationally and internationally known people to speak in our community. And we try to get people who have a point of view that we think are going to intrigue people, who are going to help us learn a few things about ourselves and the world around us. And so over the years, we've hosted a really wide variety of people. We have hosted a number of journalists, including Carl Bernstein, who helped break the Watergate scandal way back when. Journalists have probably been one of the more popular categories of people we've hosted. But we've also hosted politicians. We've hosted Temple Grandin, who was amazing, speaking about autism and animal treatment. We hosted Dr. Jelani Cobb last semester. He is the dean of the Columbia Journalism School. We hosted Sarah Thomas, the NFL's first full-time female referee. So we try to bring in a variety of people who we think are going to have something interesting to share with us. We've brought in Nobel Prize winners, Purple Heart recipients. It's just a wide variety of people. So we always try to keep it really diverse in terms of the type of speakers that we bring to our campus.
Dave, I have a question. When you have these big names, does Delta videotape their presentation, their lecture? Is it archived? Is it available for people who may want to go back and catch up with Temple Grandin?
Yeah. So in the past, when we started in the earlier days, we would film it and then we would make it available in Delta's library so that people could come in there, take a look at the video recording. But over the past few years, we've done more of the recordings where we've put them online. The President Speaker Series does have a website within Delta's website, and there you can find some of the speakers from the past, I would say about 2 to 4 years, including Temple Grandin. And Temple was really unique. She is one of only 2 people who we've asked to do 2 talks. And she also was in our gym, and we hosted more than 1,000 people over the course of that day. It was Valentine's Day 2019, and she was just amazing. She really delivered an incredible speech.
Well, we're here talking with Dr. David Baskin, and we're talking about the President's Speaker Series here at Delta College. And this February 22nd is coming up in a few days. The event is entitled, "What Would You Do? Words and Wisdom About Doing the Right Thing." And it will focus on John Quiones' odds-defying journey from migrant farm worker to broadcast journalist, the power of education, championing the Latino American dream, and thought-provoking perspective on human nature and ethical behavior. So it's going to be a great show. I'm excited, John.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're going to come right back out of break. We're talking with Dr. David Baskin from Delta College and the President's Speaker Series with John Quiones.
Sipping hot cocoa under a warm fuzzy blanket by the fireside sounds nice and all, but do you know what sounds even better? Doing all this while digging your toes into ultra-soft carpets from Shaw. This is Sonia with Westside Decorating. We offer a variety of Shaw floors from luxurious caress to the super durable and stain-resistant Pet Protect carpet. We still offer insulating window coverings to combat drafty windows and beautiful designs. Visit our newly renovated showroom, Westside Decorating, 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township, where there's always something new.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our half-off deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Daylight Outfitters, Super Cute, Salon Blue, the Bubble Tea Brew House, and Style Encore. All of these deals are half off. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before they sell out.
RocketGrabPlus.com. First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks on Wall Street are extending their losses in early trading. Strong inflation data and a drop in weekly jobless claims adding to worries the Fed will keep raising interest rates. Energy companies especially hard hit as the price of oil continues to drop, down more than $2 to $75 a barrel. More than 2,000 Disney employees are fighting a 4-day-a-week work from office mandate. They've signed a petition, which the Washington Post says it's seen, and are asking CEO Bob Iger to rethink the policy, arguing it's likely to have unintended consequences that cause long-term harm to the company. The signees include workers across Disney's businesses, including ABC, 20th Century Studios, Marvel Studios, Hulu, Pixar, FX, and others. Disney has more than 200,000 employees. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
It's Jesse Kelly here. I can't afford to lose 30% of my 401k or IRA again, and I'm assuming you can't either. Call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's it. You now own precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today to learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan. 833-404-GOLD, 833-404-GOLD.
Your local Zematic dealer works hard to give you every advantage when it comes to your irrigation operations. This year, we're giving you a head start in preparing for the upcoming season by letting you choose between industry-leading interest rates and deep per-tower discounts on a new Zematic pivot. The earlier you act, the better your deal will be. Better deals, better equipment, better season. Better contact your local Zematic dealer today to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I am Larry Rodarte. I'm filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show this morning, and we're talking about the President's Speaker Series at Delta College. And I have a student named Vincent Kahn, who is part of the faculty that's actually going to be interviewing John Quinones. And I want you to tell me about what you're looking forward to for the interviewing this great journalist.
The first thing that I'm really interested in is part of him being first generation Mexican American in America. You know, I'm a first generation, West Indian in America. You probably could, find a lot of connections there. But growing up, I was very fond of the show What Would You Do, and just the humanity and, the empathy that he would show, and the situations. It interested me quite a bit growing up. So, diving a bit into those two topics, along with, show business.
Mhm.
Those are the two.
So are you a journalist?
Multimedia journalist. I do a lot of
Multimedia.
stuff in front of the camera, but I do like to write
Mhm.
behind the camera. But, in front of the camera is where I feel most comfortable.
Okay, well, that seems like the theme of this hour's here on the Art Lewis Show today, talking to students. We had Jose Perez the fourth, and now we've got Vincent Kahn, who's from Delta College. We had Saginaw Valley earlier. Now we're dealing with Delta College. We got Dave Baskin here, who is part of the President Series. And so we're looking forward to February 22nd when we have this renowned journalist, John Quinones, and he is going to grace us with his presence and give us the experience that he has as a journalist, coming from the background of a migrant worker who, as you noted, Rosa, he used to pick cherries up in Traverse City. Can you believe that? Here in Michigan. And look at him now on the big stage.
Absolutely.
And has been with ABC News for over 30 years. I mean, that's quite a feat in the journalism world.
Yeah.
So anything else you gentlemen want to add to this event coming up February 22nd?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to encourage people to come. And after John speaks, he will stick around for a little bit. And if you want a chance to say hi to him, maybe get a photo taken or an autograph, he will be available after his talk. And we're looking forward to seeing everyone. Please spread the word, bring a friend, bring a family member. It should be a really great event at Delta College on Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
And it's free.
It is free.
And where is it going to be actually located at? In the gymnasium?
It's in the Pioneer Gym, the east side of the gym, and that is on the north end of our building on the main campus.
Okay. And Vincent, what is your big question going to be to this renowned journalist?
I want to keep it kind of a secret, but I do plan on giving him a question, a situation of what would he do?
Yeah.
Just like the show.
That's
All
right.
Yes.
All right. So, Jonathan, what do you think of all this happening, at Delta College, Saginaw Valley? As my producer here, you're seeing a lot of activity. What's your feeling?
I think it's great giving, especially students, but giving easy access to people who have lived in the spotlight, I guess is the best way to put it, nationally and internationally renowned individuals in journalism in any field, really. Of course, journalism I'm a little bit partial to, but I think that it's great to have that accessibility for students. I think that it's great to bring that to a local level and hear it directly from them instead of just hearing about them. So I think it's a great program, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Well, kudos to Delta College too for bringing this speaker, and for such a long time having the President Speaker Series since 1999.
Right.
I mean, that's quite a feat too. And you said sometimes bi-monthly.
Well, sometimes we do it both in the fall and the winter. We've done that
okay.
More recently, but yeah, we always bring in at least one a year, if not two.
Wow.
Great speakers.
Well, that's awesome, and
Yes.
to be able to have these individuals come to the Great Lakes Bay region, it's really a treat. So if anybody is on the cusp of saying, "Oh well, should I come?" Yes, you should.
Yes, you should
Delta
come.
College in the gymnasium. Usually it's during the daytime, but this time to try to get as many people that want to come after work or after school, they're going to be having John Quillones, who is going to be with us on February 22nd. And it's going to be part of the President's Speaker Series from 6 p.m. to 7:30 at Delta College. So thank you, gentlemen, for being with me here today on the Art Lewis Show. And we are so excited to talk with young students as well as all the activity that's happening at Delta College and Saginaw Valley State University. We're going to be right back with another guest. And this guest is Luis Garcia from the CAMP program at Michigan State University. So we're talking on to all the universities today here on the Art Lewis Show. Unfortunately, what happened at MSU this week, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And one of the students who was shot on Monday is one of the students that Luis Garcia is the director of the CAMP program that she was enrolled in. So we'll be right back.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Enjoy all the benefits of Liberty Bridge for free until April. Save time and fuel by taking the most convenient route to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge. Brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. For your passport to the lowest rates once tolling begins, get your BC Pass before April at baycitybridgepartners.com. Retirement is more than a newly discovered free time. It's a time to reflect on how you'll be remembered and your legacy. It's important to make proper arrangements now. Tune in to WSGW every Sunday at 8 a.m. to your Financial Empower Hour with Jason and Carl Kreiderman from Great Lakes Investment Advisors in Midland. Learn how to structure your retirement savings to increase the value of your estate and help leave the legacy you want. Plus, call Great Lakes Investment Advisors today, and they will include a complimentary Legacy Maximizer at 989-835-7203. That's 989-835-7203. This commercial shall in no way be construed as solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. Consider STP Conventional High Mileage to save on motor oil for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSW Online poll about the Fair Tax Act of 2023. There's a faction of House Republicans introducing the decades-old idea of the Fair Tax Act. The bill outlines a 23% use tax, though some analysts believe it's going to be closer to 30%. If it's enacted, it would replace both payroll and income taxes. Supporters even say in the future, the IRS could be eliminated because the bill would cut off funding in the future for the IRS. We do remember that former Michigan Congressman Dave Camp did hold a fair tax hearing years ago, but never went anywhere. Some Republicans say that Speaker McCarthy actually said he was going to bring it to a vote.
Part of the agreement on getting the votes so he could become Speaker.
So would you vote yes or no on this Fair Tax 2023 bill? We'll give you yes. We'll give you no on this bill, though you support the overall idea of a use tax. Or no on this bill and you don't support the use tax at all. Or the popular, I'm not sure. You can make your votes by going to WSW.com. Scroll down the homepage. Look for the poll box and make your vote that way.
Your morning team. Charlie, Denise, and Pat. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Good morning. We are back here at the Alpha Media Studios on WSGW's Art Lewis program. I am filling in for Art this morning. I am Larry Rodarte, and it's a pleasure to be with you all. Thank you for listening. Well, this week has been a tough week as well. We have been talking to local university students from Saginaw Valley as well as Delta College. And unfortunately, we all heard about the tragedy that befell on one of the great campuses in Michigan, MSU. Community gathered for a vigil the other day for the students that were killed on MSU campus. There were 3 killed and 5 injured. It was a horrific event that has really upset Spartan Nation. And I am a fellow Spartan. It is my alma mater. And my co-host here today, Rosa Morales, is also a MSU alum.
Go green.
And so it really
Go
makes
white.
us feel a little bit unsafe in our world because this happened right here in Michigan, an hour away from Saginaw in the Great Lakes Bay region. And today I have a guest. His name is Luis Garcia. He is the director of CAMP, which is a program at Michigan State University, a residential program that assists migrant and seasonal farm worker students who are American citizens with academic, social, and financial support to enable them to complete their first year of college. And one of the students, unfortunately, was who was shot on Monday was Guadalupe Wapia Perez. And Luis is going to talk to us a little bit about what has been happening over there at MSU and with Guadalupe. So please help me welcome today on the Art Lewis Show, Luis Garcia of Camp MSU. Hello, Luis.
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Thank you for being with us. I know it's been a little bit difficult. We've had some technical difficulties because the power went out here at the station last night for about 4 hours, but we're back and running and we're trying to make a go of this. So thank you so much for being with me today here. Tell me a little bit about the camp program. First, let's set this up. Tell me a little bit about the camp program. And,
let me kind of explain to you the way that we operate here at Michigan State University. I'm the director of migrant student services. We have a division that focuses on providing services to migrant and seasonal farm workers. Under that umbrella of migrant student services, we have the College Assistant Migrant Program, Scholars Program, which is CAMP. We have the HEP program, which is the High School Equivalency Program. The HEP program provides instructions in Spanish and in English for those farm workers who haven't completed their high school degree. We have the MSU IDNR Center, and that is Identification and Recruitment Center. There we're under contract with the state of Michigan to go out and 57 and identify migrant and seasonal farm workers and register them so that their children can have access to primary education. The the fourth program that we operate is the National Migrant Scholars Internship Initiative. There, with that initiative, we work with 59 other programs who house camp programs in the nation. That's a lot of universities that we work with to facilitate getting internships for their students as well who are have a migrant background. The concept there is that we know that even if students get a degree, but if they don't have a good working experience background and professional background, the likelihood of them getting employment is really reduced. So that's what that particular internship
Well,
and
Luis,
we all that's we call MSS. Yes.
I wanted to
Hello.
you were can you hear us? We were cut out there a little bit,
I
but
can.
I wanted to just ask you, how are you feeling? I know it's been a real tough week, and I understand
Sure.
one of the camp students, Guadalupe
Yes.
Guapilla Perez, is one of the camp students, and you're familiar with her.
Yes.
My gosh, how has it been for you, Luis, on the MSU campus?
Well, it's here's the thing is that we've been working real closely with the hospital and the family. The family's here with her, and trying to make sure that their needs are being met. So we've secured a place for them to stay, providing food. And so we spent a lot of time making sure that that was happening. But at the same time, now remember that we got over 200 camp students, migrant farm worker students on our campus. So we have made it a point to make sure that they had a safe space where they could go and feel comfortable. So we have, since Tuesday, we started providing lunch and dinner meetings, or lunch and dinner for the other students. So my efforts have been to focus on the rest of the students and helping them try to give them that space that they could lean on one another.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, I'm a former MSU student myself, and Rosa is here too. And we just send our condolences. And I remember back in the 80s, MSU is such a beautiful campus. I mean, it
Yes.
really is. It's like a city within itself. And I
Mm.
always felt safe there, walking around,
Mhm.
all over, whether it was in the tundra or, through the different housing that was there that offers meals for us. Wherever you were, you could get lunch or dinner at the different buildings. And so it just broke my heart to hear that this was happening when it did. And we stand with all Spartan Nation, really, because it has been really affected many of us outside of the university. So I can only imagine what's going on with you there, with the students. And we just want to give you a big hug, Luis.
No, no, we appreciate it. It's you know, yeah, it's we always think, uh, Larry, uh, that these types of things happen in other places,
Yes.
and that really we walk around every day. It's just, oh wow, let's see what happened in other parts of our country. And but when it's when it hits home, this hit home,
Yeah.
and everybody from the people who are cooking, from the drivers to the police departments to the students to the faculty, everybody's really is feeling this traumatic blow that we have received. There's no way around it. I mean, this has been a traumatic experience.
Luis,
We thought we thought it was traumatic with COVID, and this is kind of all new again.
Luis,
Yes,
Rosa here. Um, among the most traumatized is el profesor Marco Diaz Munoz, who CNN interviewed yesterday. It aired in the evening at 9 p.m. It repeated around 1 or 2 a.m. How is el prof? He went public with his story,
that's correct. Yes.
describing every minute of what happened that evening when he was teaching in his classroom at Berkey Hall, room 114. He said his favorite room. And now the trauma that has gripped him, and he looked very emotionally distraught. He described how he's feeling. How is he feeling? How are you guys taking care of him? I know the university is taking care of him, and the medical field is taking, professionals,
Sure.
but
Sure.
la comunidad, el pueblo, ¿cómo lo están cuidando? How are
You
they
know,
taking
and
care of him?
and I one of the things with I found it extremely intriguing with what he was saying, because he now it's a process where people are reflecting on what happened, and he's to he's processing this is that perhaps I could have done more, perhaps I should have done this. And the university has put counseling services, have made it available to all the faculty, staff, and students, even the first responders. Everybody's saying, man, what, as people reflect on this, could I have done more? What should I have done? I mean, look at, and what tragically is that moving forward is that this is the way it played out, and but I think what was really interesting about the professor is he's started to write a letter to his students. And I think once he completes this letter, and he's having trouble writing this letter to the students, but I think once he completes it, it will, it, we have to go through these processes and that begin the process of healing. And I think I appreciate him going public, because it also helps the rest of the university start that process. That's a very, very intense conversation that he was holding with the public about, I mean, it was his classroom.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Luis, we're going to go into commercial real quick, and we'll be right back. We're talking with Luis Garcia of the camp program at Michigan State University.
I'll second guess dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
At Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, an evening with James Taylor.
Oh, I've seen fire, I've seen rain.
Friday night, June 23rd, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
How sweet it is to be loved by.
Tickets start at $36, on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office and etix.com.
Oh, Mexico, you got a friend.
James Taylor, Under the Stars, June 23rd at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
Deb's constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating kept giving her grief. She talked to her doctor to get some relief. Deb had irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, which was a start. Saying yes to Linzess helped her do her part.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
This is Kareem Bowen, host of United Shades of Grey, Conversations of Race in America. This week we have Buena Vista Police Chief Reggie Williams, and we will begin discussing mass shootings at Michigan State University. We'll talk about Tyree Nichols, and we'll continue the conversation on public safety.
United Shades of Grey, Sunday evenings at 7 on WSGW.
Welcome back. I am Larry Rodarte. I'm here filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. And we have the opportunity to talk with Luis Garcia. He is part of the MSU faculty at Michigan State University. Luis, can you tell us a little bit? I know you can't talk in regards to Guadalupe, one of the shooting victims. You can't tell us about updating her health or anything like that. But can you tell us your relationship and what was she involved with as a camp student?
Yes, Larry. She was she's a junior now, and it was really Guadalupe's. You talk about interesting dynamics like with her, because she's one of these COVID folks that started during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that first year of COVID, she was one of the students that started her freshman year remotely.
Yeah.
So for during COVID lasted 2 years, so much of that was online, and then now the students are here in person. So really, during the COVID time, there was all these students that were students of Michigan State. However, they never had stepped foot on, and she was one of them. But she's a student leader. She was scheduled to go as a student leader to Mexico. We generally take about 160 students during spring break to do community service in Mexico, and she was one of the student leaders of that. In fact, she was telling the family that she needed to hurry up and get ready because she wants to go to Mexico. We're not sure if that's going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show you that her spirit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that her sister Selena set up a GoFundMe account, and I was really astonished at how the love and support for this young girl was coming from all over the country. And I believe they are close to 400,000 on the GoFundMe account that will go towards Guadalupe and her family, because her family came from Florida and they've been with her the minute as soon as they could get up here, and they are were in the hospital with her, and she is, from my understanding, stable but still in critical condition, and she's one of the five students that is in critical condition now since the shooting happened. So, is there been an outpouring from the camp in the Latino community at Michigan State University?
Absolutely. And, Larry, when you started this conversation, you mentioned the Spartan Nation. If you look at the contributors that have contributed, many of them are alumni
Yeah.
and students. And, sometimes we forget the impact that these institutions have developed over the years, and very much so. And I one of the comments that our president made is that, and this goes for all institutions, we can't have these types of situations dictate to make us change so much that, some people just saying, you know, maybe we should all be studying from home from now on. No, we have to continue to be what we are and what we have been. It's difficult. Yes.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I think that we have to continue the road. MSU didn't do this shooting. This was thrust upon us.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when Monday rolls around, classes will be ready to resume, you think? Luis, how do you see the week rollout coming up after this tragedy?
The institution, we plan to have the university start Monday. We've had a lot of students go home, but if you've seen the vigil the other night, there was a massive presence of students, faculty,
Yes.
staff, community. I mean, thousands upon thousands of people showed up. But I think that that's what was needed. People to say, look, yes, we're all trembling. This has been traumatic, but we're standing together. And I think, Rosa, yeah, we'll start on Monday. We're not going to be functioning, I'm sure, at 100%, because some of our students as well went home. And I think that once they see everybody coming back, and then folks will start trickling back in. And I know that some of them, as they departed, they were saying, "No, I'm going to finish mine online." But I think that it's because everybody has to go home, be in their safe place, and just process these things.
Yes. Yes. We'll be right back, Luis. We're going to go into another break, and we'll wrap up the show. Thank you so much for being with us. But we will send prayers and hugs to all of you at Michigan State University, and Spartan Nation stands behind you. And I want to just say, U of M, there was that picture of the U of M symbol that was wrapping their arms around Spartan Nations, because we were all Spartans on that day.
At the end of the day, we're the same, right?
Yes. Yes.
Go green.
All right.
Go
We'll
white.
be right back.
All right.
You're no stranger to working in the dark. But with John Deere Operations Center, you can see your farm with more clarity than ever. That's because Operations Center provides insights you can access anytime, anywhere, allowing you to analyze your results, share with your advisors, and make a plan to improve yields, grow profits, and gain ground. See what you have to gain at johndeere.com/operations center.
Have you ever asked a farmer if they talk to their fields?
Promise me you'll grow nice and tall. You got that? No, you were corn in 2013, not 2014. Hope you were thirsty. You think Cheryl's still mad at me?
After all that talking, sometimes it's time to listen. Your field has a voice, and John Deere Operations Center helps you hear it. Unlock every acre's full potential by using both agronomic and economic data. Visit johndeere.com/operations center and unlock your operation.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devalue. 900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Thanks for joining us this day. WSGW. I'm Larry Rodarte on the Art Lewis Show, filling in for Art. And it's a wrap with this edition of the Art Lewis Show. It's been a pleasure. And once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning as we had gone through some difficulties in getting here because of the weather. And we ended on a really sad note with the shootings at MSU. And we thank our guest, Luis Garcia from Michigan State University's camp program, as well as Joseph Jose Perez IV and Dr. David Baskins from Delta College. So thank you, everybody. Until next time, I'm Larry Rodarte on The Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 5 Memphis police officers fired after Tyree Nichols' brutal beating and death are due in court this hour to face second-degree murder charges. Attorney William Massey represents one of the defendants, Emmett Martin.
The public has just not been given all the information, and I think the public was left with the opinion that there was no probable cause to stop Tyree Nichols.
Nichols was black, so are all 5 officers. A white police officer in Louisiana has been arrested for shooting an unarmed black man to death as he tried to run away when police responded to his family's apartment in Shreveport.
Speed of our delivery to strengthen our sling speed of decisions to limit Russian potential.
Vice President Harris among the attendees. The Wall Street Journal says top oversight officials want to send auditors and investigators to Ukraine's war zone to track U.S. assistance. President Biden's admitted those mystery objects shot down over the U.S. and Canada last weekend were harmless. Correspondent Cammie McCormick says hope of finding the debris is fading.
The objects came down in remote areas or in extreme conditions. Canadian authorities have now ended their search for the object that came down in Lake Huron, citing deteriorating weather and the low probability of recovery. Search efforts are continuing in Yukon, but that's being hampered by mountains and snow. The U.S. has so far reported no debris recovered from the other object shot down over northern Alaska.
Spain's High Court has just agreed to extradite a British citizen wanted by the U.S. in a Twitter hack 2 years ago. It compromised the accounts of several American politicians, including President Biden's and former President Obama's. The same day, EPA Administrator Michael Regan visited the site of the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The rail operator got more bad news. CBS's Roxana Sabiri.
Norfolk Southern's problems are growing. Just yesterday, another one of the company's trains derailed outside of Detroit. Authorities say one of the train cars was carrying a hazardous material, liquid chlorine, but that car was not overturned and there were no leaks or spills.
An all-star catcher and Baseball Hall of Fame broadcasters died.
I'm going to take you back to a night, the first game of the World Series, 1988.
Tim McCarver won 2 World Series titles with the Cardinals in the 1960s. He was one of the few players to play in the majors in 4 different decades. before he retired in 1980 and became a TV analyst for a record 24 World Series. Tim McCarver was 81. The Hall of Fame says he died of heart failure. Dow futures are down 118. This is CBS.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar.